Welcome again, folks. Today we'll delve upon a bizarre case where a teenager, appearing on an Indian reality TV show, accidentally revealed a gruesome triple murder. This shocking revelation brings to light a dark secret that was kept hidden for about 4 excruciating years. There was a talk show in South India in 2012, whose objective was to help the society. Solavelam Unmai is a fiery talk show anchored by the popular anchor and media personality, Nirmala Periyaswamy. The show deals with interpersonal problems, real-life stories, family courts, stories of miracles, social issues, and more. Here most unsolved problems get solved. Be it a case of a drunken husband who has forsaken his family, a thug who is now a good Samaritan, runaway brides, man with 4 wives not known to each other, and families that have separated for over a decade and reunited on the show. This program has been on air since August 2011 and has had many interesting and touching stories solving many issues touching the common man. On 15 May 2012, Nirmala, the anchor of the popular Tamil reality show, found a young couple keen to meet her at her studio in Chennai, in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu. Zee Tamil, the channel that broadcasts the show, decided to put the couple on air and asked parents on both sides to turn up the next day. It is a show where the anchor plays the role of a judge, settling any issue at hand on the spot. The young couple turned up the next day. They looked fatigued and scared and wanted Nirmala to help them get married. The girl's name was Bhargavi. She was 17 years old. The boy, Sathish Kumar, was 22. Both were from Villupuram, a village 150 kilometers from Chennai. Bhargavi fell in love with Sathish and moved to his house. Sathish's father brought her back to her parents' place, saying she was too young to get married. The program was telecast on 28th and 29th May of 2012 on Zee Tamil, a local Tamil channel here. It is revealed that the young couple's decision to marry was because of the inflicting abuse Bhargavi was receiving at the hands of her father, who is her own flesh and blood. Bhargavi and her boyfriend were on the show along with her father, Murugan, and her mother, Rajeshwari. Her parents said that they would get her married to a boy of their choice, and Bhargava is not yet an adult, so she should come back home and complete her studies. In Indian culture, it is a tradition for a man or a woman belonging to a particular caste to marry someone who belongs to the same caste. If somehow the man or a woman marry outside her caste, then it is considered taboo to the society and affects the purity and honor of his or her ancestors. During the course of the show, the host reiterated her parents' views and said that she is not a grown-up yet and she should obey her parents' advice for her own good. The host pointed out that she was only 17 years old and that she should return to her parental home, but Bhargavi was adamant. The would-be bride was sure her parents were not willing to let them marry because Sathish was of another caste. The host tried to convince her of the need to retain family ties, but still she stood firm in her decision and never looked like giving in. After much repetitive coercion by her parents, Bhargavi finally spilled the beans, which would change the dynamics of the discussion and baffled everyone. Bhargavi blurted out, "He will kill me, believe it, because he has done it." The entire television crew was stunned. She added she is afraid of going back to her father's home because her father Murugan threatened her that he would eliminate her and Sathish if she continued the affair. Bhargavi also said that one day when she was in 9th standard, her father tried to abuse her and she resisted. Her mother intervened and told her not to quarrel with him. When he was away, her mother, Rajeshwari, told her that Murugan had murdered 3 people in 2008 and buried them right in front of their house. After hearing these accusations and being exposed in front of the public by his own daughter, Bhargavi's father, Murugan, intervened loudly, saying that Bhargavi was lying. His wife Rajeshwari said she didn't know what the daughter was talking about. The show ended with her mother falling at the show host's feet and begging her not to air the show. The father, who has been vocal against the couple's relationship from the start, knowing he couldn't do anything at that instance, suddenly changed face. He shook the young man, hugged him, and made a quick exit from the stage. The talk show host was shocked and baffled by the gruesome revelation and the aftermath. Bhargavi, an excellent student. She just completed her 12th standard scoring 1,016 out of the total 1,200 marks in all subjects. She wants to study engineering. It is unusual that she would want to get married at such a young age, but to her, it's an escape from years of sexual advancement by her father. He used to misbehave with me from a very young age. She says, initially, I was scared and did not disclose it to anyone. Later I started resisting him and revealed everything to my mother. My mother told me not to speak about it. I couldn't accept that. Then she told me that he would kill me and that he had sufficient experience in eliminating whoever came in his way. For the Zee Tamil channel, it was a sensational story, if true. Therefore, they sent a crew to Bhargavi's village. They wanted to make sure whether there had really been 3 people gone missing from the village for the past 4 years. Some villagers did confirm about a young couple and a father who had been last seen 4 years ago. The information corroborated Bhargavi's story. Though they could not verify the murder, the show's producers were convinced that something sinister might have happened. After the show was aired, the police immediately took note and went in search of Murugan, but they could find neither him nor his wife in the house in the village. The Villupuram police inspector came to the channel and informed that this was the case wherein 3 people had gone missing for 4 years and asked for Zee Tamil's cooperation in the investigation further. A woman by the name Jiva saw the episode when it was telecasted and lodged a complaint on the 1st of June 2012 and said her husband Sikar, her daughter Lavanya, and her lover have gone missing for the past 4 years. The police were curious and questioned her as to why she didn't inform them about their disappearance. She replied that she thought her daughter and her boyfriend had eloped and therefore went to live secretly away from the sight of everyone else. The boy and the girl were from different castes, so they wanted to keep it secret because of their contrasting backgrounds. And she thought her husband had found them and lived with them. On the second day of investigation, the police stumbled on the remains of the people presumed to have been murdered by Murugan himself. These discoveries were made near a well in the compound at Murugan's backyard. Murugan's wife Rajeshwari was arrested at a bus station, and the police were confident on arresting Murugan within the next 2 days. Murugan tried to avoid being arrested by moving from one place to another. He stayed at his relative's house and avoided his pursuit by the police. Police devised a plan by showing up at his relative's home as a news channel crew and wanted to talk to him and show his side of the story. He showed up and he was arrested right there and then. Meanwhile, a forensic investigation is being conducted and the police confirmed the human remains belong to the 3 missing persons. The police investigation reveals a dark secret that was kept hidden for 4 long years. A person named Shikar used to work in the furniture shop. There was a deep friendship between Murugan and Shikar. Shikar's daughter, Lavanya, and her boyfriend, Silambarasan, eloped against her father's will, so she and her fiancé went to Murugan's home to seek advice and also to seek temporary shelter for the time being. Silambarasan and Lavanya met when they were employees at the same furniture unit, which Murugan owns. It was said they fell in love during their time together at the furniture unit. The young couple trusted Murugan because he was their father's friend after all, and he is also a father figure. This would eventually prove to be their worst decision that would end tragically. One thing they didn't know was that before this, Shikar had approached his friend Murugan into talking the couple out of their romantic relationship as he himself failed in doing so. So the day was set on that particular day. The young couple arrived at Murugan's house. They talk for hours, but it seems the conversation does not reach any conclusion. When the couple showed reluctance in listening to his advice, Murugan secretly mixes poison in their drinks and makes Lavanya and the boy drink it. A little later they fell weak and dizzy. He then strangled both of them one by one. Murugan dragged the bodies out and buried them near a well where people fetch drinking water. After a week, when Shekar came searching for his daughter, Murugan murdered him as well with the help of his brother Mathiyarasan and buried him in the same spot the young couple were buried. 8 years after a casual conversation in a television reality show led to the unearthing of a triple murder, the Villupuram court found Murugan guilty of murder and sentenced him to serve 3 life imprisonments. Concurrently, besides a fine of Rs 95,000, which amounts to about 1,100 US dollars. His brother, who helped kill Shikhar, was also arrested and faced 1 life sentence and a fine. Murugan's wife was acquitted of all charges as police could not find enough evidence of her involvement in the crime. The worst part is all the victims and the offenders were known to each other. Murugan was running a furniture unit at a village near Jinji in Villupuram district, and he ran the business with his friend Shekhar, whose daughter Lavanya was also working in the unit. Police have openly thanked Zee Tamil and the Solvathalam Unmai team for having helped to solve this sensational triple murder crime. Bhargavi now lives with Sathish and his parents in their home. For someone who has gone through so much, she doesn't appear too distraught. She looks happy and energetic, as if she has shrugged off her memories of evil. She is not bothered about what happens to her father, though she hopes he gets a life term. Kumar, Sathish's father, a plumber by profession, is trying to get admission for Bhargavi to an engineering college. She should complete her education. That is more important than marriage, says Saroja, Sathish's mother. At the end of a sordid stranger than fiction drama, this case offers some semblance of a happy ending after all.